'Tis the season to be jolly. Unfortunately, it's also the season that a lot of people put a lot more financial pressure on themselves than what they really need to. And this can make Christmas incredibly stressful. And so I'm just going to share some things with you that potentially could make your Christmas a little cheaper and therefore a little less stressful. Hopefully just some of this can give you ideas to help you. And as I always say, you do what works for you and your family. So anything I suggest that you think would not work for your family or you just think is complete rubbish, that's fine. I'm just going to share with you some things that we do, and yeah, there might be something in here that you find fun or helpful. The very first thing I will tackle is presents. Now, if you have an extended family that you give presents to, one thing that can be helpful is a Kris Kringle. I assume you know what that is, but just in case you don't, it's where everyone pulls names out of a hat and they just buy a present for one person that they get, and because everyone's name's in the hat, it means that everyone gets a present from someone. Being organised with presents can make a big difference, because if you have a particular thing in mind for a person, you can find out the store where it comes from and wait for a particular sale or something like that. Sometimes it'll be something that's appropriate that you can get second hand, and so then you look out for something like that. Like one year we got my son a bike. We got one that was in good condition, but it was way cheaper than buying it brand new. Also, if you're organised, you've got the time to shop around to be able to find the item at a price that you're happy to pay. Whereas if you leave it till the last minute, then it's just like you're rushing in and you will just pay whatever you can for the present because it's 2 days till Christmas and you want to get Auntie Cheryl a new pie maker. And for those of you with children, this is where Christmas gets really expensive, especially if you've got a few children and they are older or they are very particular about what they would like. In our family, we really encourage an idea of gratitude, which means that if the kids only get, say, 2 presents from us, which is usually what they do get, they are grateful for those 2 presents and they appreciate that they got them, rather than thinking, well, I should have got this many presents. Now, it's easy in our family because this is something that we have trained in our children since they were born. What we'll do is they'll get 2 presents. One's a bigger present and one's a small present. And by a small present, like it might be a box of chocolates or a calendar. Like something that's really just small and a couple of dollars. And then the bigger present might be, my son is really hitting the jackpot. Me and my husband needed to get new phones because ours were dying, but they're still fine to play games on. We are regifting that and giving it to my son as kind of like an iPod, I guess, so he can listen to music on it and he can download some games and play them on it. So technically that didn't cost us anything, but we did get an iPod for my daughter for Christmas one year. Again, that was a second-hand one, but it's great, works great, and I think that cost us a bit over $100, so that's the most we've ever spent on a Christmas present for our kids. And then also we often do a big present that might be a joint present. So that might be something like Lego. And even though the kids only get like 1 or 2 presents from us, they will also be getting presents from grandparents and possibly some other people. So they do know that they've got other presents to look forward to. And if you feel like, oh, you know, we don't have enough presents for the kids, like truly don't get downhearted about it. I have seen kids get 20 or 30 presents, and honestly they get to the end and they're still like, so are there any more presents? Even if you buy your kids all the presents in the world, I guarantee you they're probably still going to be like, so are there any more? However, if you're wanting to get your kids more presents than that, there are other ways to go about it. So giving them practical things that they actually need is a good thing to do, and that's another present they can unwrap. So they might need new clothes or something, so that could be part of their Christmas present. I find actually, particularly with young kids, a lot of the excitement is just actually unwrapping the present. So one thing we do that means our kids get to unwrap a lot more presents, and this is like so lame, but my kids love it. We wrap toys that they already own. So it might be their favourite teddy bear, or it might be, you know, a book that they like to read. We wrap that up, put their name on it, and yeah, on Christmas Day they get to open it and it's like, oh look, it's my teddy bear. But yeah, honestly, it's just fun to unwrap presents. Sometimes my kids also gift their toys to their siblings, so that can be another way of getting extra presents, and sometimes it can be really sweet. Like my son had a soft toy that was really precious to him, but his sister kept stealing it, and so he decided to give it to her as a present, and oh, as a mother, that just warmed my heart. Other families I know, they make things for each other, so that can be really sweet too, especially if your kids are a little bit crafty. But it is a lot more meaningful in that, like, time and effort has actually gone into it. So I just really want to stress to parents that do put themselves under a lot of guilt, feeling like that they're not giving their kids enough because they haven't given them all the things that they wanted for Christmas, or they haven't given them enough presents, or the presents that they got weren't very expensive. Don't feel guilty that you can't provide everything that your child could ever want or need. They will survive. It really is okay. And even if they are a little bit disappointed that they didn't get a particular present, like, try to help them not focus on what they didn't get, but direct them towards what they did get. And also explain that they have something greater. And I know this is corny, but you know, they've got their family there with them who love them, and they're getting to spend time together, and they're getting to celebrate together. If it's important to you to give gifts to show how much you care, you can just give a very small gift, but pair that with a lovely card, which can be a homemade card, or it can just be a store-bought one, but with really meaningful, loving words in it. And it can just be something very simple. You could even write something like, we couldn't afford very much, but nothing we bought would compare to how much value you have in our lives, you know, something sweet like that. And that's a really precious gift too. Another big expense at Christmas time can be the food, especially if you're, say, having family over, or you're just doing a big food thing, because for some reason we all completely overeat at Christmas time. I don't know where that tradition came from, but I think it's just because, you know, it's fun to celebrate with food. And so that's all well and good, but if you are a little bit tight on money, don't go overboard on the food. You can just have, say, a roast chicken and, you know, some nice roast veggies, and then you can have just cake and ice cream for dessert. Like, you can keep it quite simple. You don't have to overeat, and that will save you a fair bit of money if you really don't have too much. If you've got lots of family coming, you can ask each of them to bring a plate of food, and you can synchronize it so that you're not all bringing the same thing. So that can also make it less stressful for you because you're not doing quite as much. Having a fake tree will save you money because you buy it once and then you never have to pay for it again until it completely falls apart. In our household it also works because my husband has hay fever, so but some people just can't go past having a real tree, and we always had a real tree when I was growing up, and I must say there is something very special about having a real tree. We've got a fake tree and it was heaps of fun to decorate, and it still drops its little things all over the ground, so you still have to vacuum like every day, so you get all the annoyance of a real tree too. A key thing that saves me money at Christmas time, so I talked about being organised, this is in a way sort of like hyper organisation. After Christmas, so I don't go to the shops on Boxing Day because it's just too busy, but after that, if you go to the shops, you can get Christmas stuff for really cheap. You sort of need to strike a little bit of a balance where you're going into the shops long enough after Christmas that things are really cheap, but not so long after Christmas that you miss out on the stuff. So usually I'll just go in the day after Boxing Day and maybe the next day. And when I do that, I pick up things like wrapping paper, Christmas cards, Christmas decorations, bonbons, candy canes, because believe me, they will last forever. You can store them until the next year and they're not going to go off. They're pure sugar. Other things like Christmas puddings and stuff also last longer than a year, so I don't like Christmas pudding, but if you're into that kind of thing, you can get that sort of stuff on clearance as well. So just all your normal Christmas stuff that you would normally buy just before Christmas at full price, you can get for like, I got like packs of, I think it was like 25 candy canes for 20 cents. So I bought a whole bunch of those, and I've been using those the last couple of years actually. Yeah, get that stuff on clearance after Christmas, and then I just store it in a box and label it Christmas, and then we just pull it out at Christmas time along with the Christmas tree and the decorations. Even though you're not going to experience those savings until the next year, it can save you quite a lot of money. And you do it every year. After a while, you build up all these things. We have more decorations than what we really know what to do with, because we've gotten secondhand ones, and then I've bought them on clearance and stuff, and we really have not spent much on decorations and things like that. We have so much fun at Christmas time. Christmas for us is not just the day of Christmas, it is the season of Christmas. So we decorate, we make gingerbread men, we sing Christmas songs, we go around and look at the Christmas lights, we write Christmas cards to friends. I've just learned how to crochet, so I've been crocheting the kids' little Christmas stockings. Tons and tons of fun things. So yeah, Christmas is great for us. We don't spend a lot of money on it, but it is a season of great joy to us. Something else fun that, I don't know where I heard this, I think it was maybe a Facebook thing. You wrap books and put them under the tree, and you have 25 of them for leading up to Christmas, and each night you unwrap a book, and that's the book that you read to your kids just before bed. We also go to the Christmas carols. That is so much fun. Another little hint there, Christmas carols are usually free, but then they'll sell things there like glow sticks, because with health and safety now, no one trusts a child holding a stick of fire, which I guess is kind of fair enough. So they do glow sticks instead. If you just buy your own glow sticks from the supermarket beforehand, it's usually a lot cheaper than getting them at the event. Advent calendars. I have never in my life bought an advent calendar because they are a complete waste of money for what they really are. It's a little bit of chocolate and some cardboard. And kids really just like it for the chocolate. And, there is a bit of fun of, opening the little window or door or whatever for the date. So, if you still want to give them that excitement and joy, you can make your own advent calendar. This is one that a friend actually gave me. So you can get these, and this is actually, the little people you put up in things, but let's just say you didn't have the little people, so instead of having little Joseph in there, in here could be your chocolate or your candy cane or whatever you want to put in there. And so, you've got your advent calendar. Obviously, this is going to cost a little bit more than buying one for the 1 year, but say an advent calendar is $5 or $10 and it costs you $20 to make this, but that's going to last you forever. So let's say like 10 years, in the long run you're saving yourself money, and you just buy a packet of, I don't know, Mars bars or Maltesers or anything really, some lollies that your kids like. That will do like all your days and everything, and it just works out cheaper and you're getting more quality for your money. You can also mix it up, and instead of putting chocolate in there, you can have like little activities. Like it could be write out your Christmas wish list, say something encouraging about someone in your family, or give a candy cane to someone, so on and so forth. So you can come up with activities they can do instead. If you're really super stretched for money, places that you can go that can help you out are like Vinnie's, or so St. Vincent's Op Shop, and the Salvation Army Op Shop, or these are also churches, so local churches can help, and also if you've got like a food bank program in your area, so you can go to them and they can often give you stuff at Christmas time that a lot of it is not stuff that you necessarily need, but is just nice. It might be something like a Christmas ham, so that you can enjoy that along with your dinner at Christmas, or maybe you just really can't afford Christmas presents for your kids and they can give you some stuff, or they can give you gift vouchers and that kind of thing. And sometimes people can be really reluctant to ask for help, but if you really need it, like, please do ask. I've been part of the food bank program, and one year we helped a woman pay off her lay-by so she could get the presents for her kids for Christmas. And we were really happy to do that, and we loved the fact that she felt comfortable accepting that gift from the program, and we just wanted to make her family's Christmas a little bit nicer. And yeah, if you go into any of these places and ask for help, that's probably the heart behind the person who you'll be talking to. They just want to make Christmas special for you, and they're really grateful that you've been willing to ask for the help. Now, Christmas really is my favourite time of year. And just to share the personal reason why, it's because I do have a strong faith, and hopefully everyone knows that the reason we celebrate Christmas is the birth of Jesus, and that was just the most precious gift that anyone could ever be given, and I am so grateful for it. And so I love having pretty much a whole month of the year that I celebrate that thought, because it truly is the most wonderful thing in my life. And I hope you have an absolutely wonderful Christmas. So from my family to yours, Merry Christmas.
Christmas decorations everywhere! Yes! On the back too, that's nice. Wait, where's Daddy? I need to do this. Oh, I like wow, and it's got little paw prints.
Like someone vomited Christmas all over our tree. See, we have no lack of decorations, and we've probably spent about $30 over the last 6 years on Christmas decorations. Oh, actually no, we got some special ones for a fundraiser from the kids' preschool, and those were like $5 each. So we've probably spent like $45 on Christmas decorations.